Okay, so once again, direct variation, but it's nonlinear. So research conducted by a physiotherapist has determined that the height to mass rate in adult males is 2.26. Okay. So I want you to think about that for a second. On the previous question, we had to write a proportional statement. Then we had to write the equation with the K in it, the constant of variation. We then had to substitute the numbers in that we were given so that we could work out what K was, what the constant of variation was. We then used that constant of variation, rewrote the equation. So we got S, the surface area, equals 6 times the square of the length of the edge. And then we used that to sub in and find the surface area of a particular size Q. Yeah? Have a look at this question. We have been given what? What have they given us? This 2.26, what is it? Excellent, it's the height to mass rate. Okay. What is that? Well, let's just start at the beginning. Let's do what we did in the last one. Let's write a proportional statement. So we've got to find out some variables. What are our variables going to be? Sorry? Give me 2 variables. I'll give you a hint. I've already highlighted. Excellent. Height and mass. So now let's have some pronumerals. What are we going to use? What do you want to use for height? Cool. What do you want to use for mass? Excellent. Now write a proportional statement. Yep. H fish EM. Height is directly proportional to mass. Yeah, don't close the tail off. It's alpha. Yes, it's alpha. It's the Greek letter alpha. Fishes always swim to the left. Serious? Yes. No. She scares me. Fish can't swim backwards. You just thought that all fish swim to the left. Well, actually, technically, they do all swim to the left. It just depends what side of the fish you're standing on. Which way's left? No, it's not. It's this way. Exactly. Okay, so we've written a proportional statement. How would we now write that as an equation? How would we now write that as an equation? Come on. There's no numbers yet. Yeah, you definitely need another letter. What is it? Okay. H is directly proportional to M. So H equals the constant of variation, K, times M. Cool? That's awesome. Does that help us? It does look a bit like kilometers, but it's not actually kilometers because we're not talking about distance right now. Now, is that going to help us? Think about what we're given. Yeah, we are. We're given a rate. How would I write a rate? No. You can leave them there. I'm just getting rid of them. What have we been given? Certainly said I could write it like that. That's fine. Give me another way to write it. Thank you. Now, I'm just going to rewrite up what we had up here a second ago. Well, okay, I could write the proportional statement, which is H fish M. That's a proportional statement, but then we've got the equation. So those are the things I'd written up earlier. Okay. Can you rearrange that so it looks like that? Can you see that it's the same as saying H equals 2.6 M? Can you see that when they gave us this rate, they were actually giving us K? Does that make sense? In the other question, that's why I went back to the other question. In the other question, they gave us for instance, in this example, they gave us the height and the mass, and we had to work out what K was. In this particular question, they've actually already given us K. They've given us the rate. They've given us the height to mass rate. Cool? So we've already got our K. So that's question A done. But now we have to predict the height of a 70 kilo man. I'm going to get rid of this version because that's, sorry, it should be 2.26. Sorry, you should have said something earlier. 2.26. I'll fix it up, sorry. 2.26. Now, I'm going to leave it in that particular format at the moment, though it doesn't matter which format you've got it in. Actually, I'm going to change it to the other one because that's the one you're used to. That's the one you're used to with the K there. So I'll put it back into that format because that's the way we've been doing it. Okay, now the actual question asks to find the height of a 70 kilogram adult male. What do we do? That's it. Everyone happy with that? Can you see what they've given us this time? They gave us the equation, basically. You had to define the variables, but they already gave you K. So we didn't have to do that initial step of solving for K. Happy with that? All right. So the next one is now saying the mass, that's what we've got to find, of 180 centimetre adult male. What do we got? Yeah. We're actually given the height, 180 centimetres, equals 2.26 M. How do we find M? So 180 over 2.26 equals M. It did say 1 decimal place. Everyone happy with that?